see, I love my family. I love my kids. I love my wife. If someone did great violence to them, you know that because of my great love for them, there would be judgment on my part. In fact, can you imagine a world in which someone did great wrong to your family and you said, that's okay, live and let live, there's no judgment here? No. The more you love, the more you strike out when you see wrongdoing occurring. And God's judgment is a sign of his love because he created it all. He loves it all. He cares for it all, and he will not stand idly by while it is all defaced. Now, the difference is when you and I judge and strike out, we do it in anger and with violence that just continues the cycle on and on and on. So here's where I want you to see what divine judgment actually looks like. Because put it another way, on one hand, we cannot stand, especially in Western culture, we cannot stand the idea of a power, authority figure up ahead of us, above us, that judges right and wrong. Please. And at the same time, we want someone to do something about the evil in this world. Friends, if you're here investigating Christianity, wondering if you can believe these things, trying these things on, consider if there is a God, if there's a God at all, if there's any divinity, don't you at least hope God is doing something about genocide in this world? Don't you at least hope that God is doing something when he sees children in sexual slavery? That the divine is not simply watching and saying, it's okay. Who sees victims of violence and oppression and says, oh, there's no judgment here. No, see, here's the problem. We want a God who will judge evil and violence out there. But the problem is, if God judges violence and evil out there, God also has to judge evil and violence in here. Because the line between good and evil is not drawn between countries. It's not drawn between political parties. It's not drawn between races and ethnicities. The line between good and evil is drawn right down every human heart. And so as soon as God judges there, he has to judge here as well. And he does. And he exposes it, and he calls it what it is, but he does something about it. In Scripture, the word judgment, or to bring God's justice, actually often has the same root as justify. To bring something back into line with how it was originally intended to be. You know this if you've ever worked on a document on your computer and you decide how you want to justify it. On the left side, on the right side, you want it to line up on both. You justify the words so they line up on the page. And God is judging creation and how it's gone wrong to justify it back to how he originally intended. So there's an irony that gets kind of lost here in the translation. In verse 11 through 13, it says, they corrupted themselves and they were corrupt. And then God says, I'm going to destroy these people, okay? But here's what you miss. When it says they corrupted themselves and they were corrupt, that's actually the Hebrew word for destroy. It's the same word used 3 times. So what God is saying is, I am going to destroy the self-destroyed. I'm going to put an end to the destruction by stopping it once and for all. God is judging the violence and saving the world at the same time.